Hey everyone, Jocular Claymore here, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So, last time, we made it inside the church and started speaking with the Crab Man, as you can see right there in the rafters. Just some guy who moved in here and is talking about the Mother of Silence and all that. We came here because the teens outside, or the young people outside, want to start a club in here, and they're afraid of the Crab Man and asked us to investigate. So here we are now. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. Now we can finish exploring the church here before we move on. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. A silk scarf. Pain threshold. Compared to... what would that replace? Oh, neck. Tie. +1, Inland Empire, vivid imagination, horrific necktie. I don't know. And then we got some stuff here, yeah. Helping the Raver Star nightclub, so we're looking into the spookers in the church. So there's the Crab Man in the rafters, and then there's a young lady dressed in old clothes, so she's nicknamed Viejita. And then Estelle refused to talk about her friends. Maybe she'll open up later after you've helped them set up the nightclub. Okay, so we gotta do the nightclub first. And then last episode, we also finished this thought, Ace is high, giving us more empathy towards Kim, and +1 Esprit de Corps. Alright, what else we got? A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Those look like shoes, and I see money also. Oh, maybe it's behind. Yeah, so let's try this. This board, I feel like, is going to give us a lot of information to go on. Money? Red brogues. Let's see. +1 empathy. We could use more empathy. Yeah, let's try that. I don't know how much it'll help, but we'll try. Anything else here? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, and then there's this machinery for us to explore, so... I guess let's start with the board. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Oh, okay, I thought there'd be more. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. A portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something?
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
It's like that machine we found in the bookstore, or rather in the abandoned parts of that building.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in Doomed Commercial Area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Wait, let me just investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Let's just look inside.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents.
No, I think we'll come back to it. See something here. Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. I think I did notice an antenna from the outside. Okay, and then looks like we can go here. I want to do a manual save just in case. Because last episode, wouldn't you know it, we got another game over screen. I mean, we're full on health and morale now, but I don't want to risk it.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
So this is Dolores Day. Heard about you.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
No.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you, as if under a microscope.
Look up.
The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. It's compassion, it's remorse, it's mourning. It's not possible to live. Let's go with compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
So he's a man of the faith, it appears.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of Dolorianism?
Seems like it.
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces.
Maybe that explains the bullet holes outside. Oh no, or that was another building. I forget. I'm mixing them up.
The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
You're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I don't remember being here.
I am pretty sure it was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything more about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten.
You see, that makes me want to investigate it even more. And, with a game like this, I do want to explore as much of the story and the lore as possible.
It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
We got a +1 from reading that book, The Greatest Innocence, so let's do that.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Wait, what exactly is an innocence? I've read a book, but it was fuzzy. I mean, the sense I get is that they're kind of like saints.
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time.
Strange that in this society they literally worship elected officials. I wonder what they're saying with that commentary.
An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
Okay, when does she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
Yeah, it's like an innocence is blurring the lines of like a god and an elected official. What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. Draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed?
Where's this coming from?
The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. No, you must know.
Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest.
Yeah, I noticed that her lungs in the mural are lit up.
Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Might as well get more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supramwindi, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning.
Crowning? So, like, she's a monarch too? What is this?
In a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
Then what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves, the man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, sounds like these stories are somewhat embellished. Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No, is there something bad about her? I want to know.
You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Theriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged, and there were resettlement programs. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Margritte were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity.
Yeah, that's not good ruler behavior.
Suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity.
And there it is.
She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. In icons such as this, she was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Officer, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
She's somehow connected to the case, glowing lungs is fucked up, nothing just looking around, she's beautiful, she's not human. War criminal! That might upset Kim. Just looking around.
Okay. It's just that you've been looking at that window for quite long now. And it's cold in here.
He takes off his glasses to clean them.
This church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
Okay, let's reconstruct the cracked glass.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto? What does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned, or just hooligans looking for something to break.
Lieutenant, this used to say afterlife, death after, etc.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Cool, not very feminine. I like the other one better. Just the fear of God back in the... Okay. I like the other one better.
So do I.
Step back. Okay, I think we're done with this mosaic.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
I don't think we asked this. Kim, are you a follower of Dolorianism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Dolorian system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Yeah, it's a strange mix of religion and politics. Okay. Might as well play this. Thank you, autosave.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
Press play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Votre accident.
Same lady from
This is the East
the Doomed commercial area.
Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the Doomed commercial area.
I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just says log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
I don't know the password.
Received. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress accident like the one in the Doomed commercial area?
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de
Yep.
Saint-Ghilaine? That's the Doomed commercial area.
Alright, so it looks like we found both machines.
Anything else I can help you? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
Let's ask Triago.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies.
Have you by any chance heard the viejita say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes, identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety, of course. Sure.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
Thanks, Tiago.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it.
The nihilistic one. What was that about coffee? I feel like I've heard it somewhere before.
Look, man, I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the mother's glorious heart, but not about the coffee.
Alright, sorry. Well, expensive about your coffee.
I think we're done here, essay.
Oh, and he's gone.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Alright, let's try the password. Oh.
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
I was thinking that we bought a figurine from the pawn shop a while back. It was a headless guy. I don't know if that's related, but let's see.
You have the headless Fallen Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
What? Win who back? I can't win her back. She's a long-dead historical figure. I should, yes.
Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one.
So let's forget it.
No, it would have been beautiful. Really tiny, thoughtful, clever.
Okay.
The machine's keyboard is the speaker.
Good afternoon. Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife, death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else? Good.
The machine's keyboard
Press
is still
print.
illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Read it.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in.
Interesting.
The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Let's read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
Wait, narcotics?
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids.
Okay.
Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold, and in an awful part of town.
Then why doth the lieutenant protest against spending time here so often?
Read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all those people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
Read the fifth entry.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
And here was Kim telling us, oh, don't mess with the machine. It's not relevant. Read the sixth entry.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to his right towards silence. Read the seventh entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Read the eighth entry.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
Read the 9th entry.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer, and the storekeeper must be Plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines.
Read the 10th entry.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles, crackers, ping energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading was interrupted by the sound of the church door opening.
Oh,
A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
must be her. Hello. Don't be mad.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're here in a side case representing certain music venue organizers.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
What is it?
The woman is still hunched over the keyboard, gently illuminated by the purring machine. I didn't break anything, did I? Hey, are you the lead programmer? Sorry, but who are you? Let's ask this.
Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
What are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions. You're occupying a public space. I need to know what you're doing here.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
A hole in the world? What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer. Yeah, essentially she's trying to prove a negative. She's trying to measure nothing, but how do you measure nothing, right?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
Hold on a moment. Does it mean we're now living in a world that has holes in it? I can't understand how we're talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone measure it. I don't know, I'm not here for some science. I just want to solve a murder so I can go home.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Hydrotransducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
That's cool.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at her circles of basins. It looks like some ancient ritual. Is the hole connected to the data loss? Do you have any idea where this hole might be? So the researcher is low. Okay, is it connected to the data loss?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Do you have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch-black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
You said that the research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
That's all I wanted to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
Have you seen the Crabman?
No?
But you know he's around.
Yes.
He's seen you.
And?
Okay.
No. You're right. I'm not.
Alright. Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR-1 as my RAIM prefix processing unit.
RAIM Prefect, that's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that antenna is its processing unit?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Not really.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
And the AR-1, is it a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
What are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
Isn't your RAIM Prefect radio computer made exclusively for the government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
And you work for the government?
No, I don't.
So why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation and RAIM Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIM Prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see REAM prefects in every police department, for example.
How did you get your hands on it?
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIM Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIM Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
What about those bowls of water over there?
They are connected to my RAIM Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Alright, next question.
Great.
Hey, about that 2mm hole again.
The swallow, you mean?
We asked about that.
What about it? Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about Anodic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you even listened to it, like actually?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they?
She pulls a face that looks absolutely scathing.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right. But how do you feel about a club for Anodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to build then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
A youth center would be nice, a petting zoo, a place for animals, maybe some community space to help the elderly. I'm still convinced they want to establish a nightclub for Anodic dance music. They said it's their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
I will.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Alright, it looks like we're done here.
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does, yes, but what is art?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world? I mean...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes. Disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Yeah, art cop does sound better than, what is it, regular cop or whatever we are now? Wait, but don't I have to be 100% cop? Okay, if 50% art critic was needed from road repetition, so be it. Sure.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world.
Let's see. Down here. Wasteland of Reality, -2 Insomnia, -1 Perception.
Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
I still see that in our stats we're mostly boring cop and sorry cop. So I guess art cop isn't really a thing here. Okay. Alright, I think we're done here. Now we can go back outside and talk to those musical entrepreneurs. We did open this shortcut last episode, I believe. Go back here.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
He looks excited. The tips of his hair are sharp and white. The bleach has consumed almost all of the toothbrush on the mirror in front of him. Let's talk about the church first.
And? What happened?
I talked to the crap man.
Oh, man. Who is he? What did you think?
Seemed okay, to be honest. Very spiritual. Yeah.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Just preaching and praying from the looks of it. He clearly enjoys the physical activity. Guy climbs like a freak. There's something sinister going on under the building's roof. I think he's getting high or something. Let me try this.
No matter. Is he going to be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we going to do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Of course he's wrong. He's a crab man. He keeps himself physically active, thinks spiritual thoughts, and doesn't drink. Who am I to evict such a person? As far as I can tell, he's not going to leave. He'll climb up around there, and guys, you'll never catch him. Actually, he told me he wouldn't mind the nightclub at all.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone else.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it. Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
I was using the mainframe when Suna, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, appeared.
A programmer? That's odd. What's she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
She said you guys haven't been completely honest with me about your plans.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place. Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
The stuffy tent muffles the last two words. The command fails to impress.
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
The love? No, I'm really not feeling it at all.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Yeah, Oda 9. Rocking it or dropping it?
She did not like the Anodic dance club idea.
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all. A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity? Unity! Dance!
She made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is finished.
And you can't just evict her?
No, I won't evict her. We have to come up with a different solution.
Look at you, Honor Man. No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music. The lines in the dark exist. Coexist. At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand. Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Anodic dance music?
She absolutely does not. Really, truly despises it.
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
I refuse to throw her out, but I can try convincing her.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend.
We can try this.
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
I got bad news for you, Andre. Things don't add up.
What things?
He senses something is wrong.
Suna said you've been lying about your plans. Your answer was very convincing. Your girl is sell as high as a kite out there. It must have been hard for you boys to keep sober with me. This is the makings of a club. It's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where's his friend? Did he lose his friend? You have no headphones. Wouldn't the cell need her headphones to spin tape? That Nocifed is here for its active ingredients. The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab. Ether in the air, useful solvent, good for getting acting agent out of the solution. Yeah, well, let's bring up the headphones.
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
I know you pawned them, likely for lab equipment and drug ingredients.
I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
That Nosifed is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
The ether in the air, a useful solvent good for getting acting agent out of a solution.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
Where's his friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker, you have only one.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in Anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
There's no need for me to pile on anymore, is there?
No shit.
As soon as you've been lying about your plans, your answer was very unconvincing.
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here.
Your girl cell is high.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore. Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Maybe not today, Egg, but you need drugs to get through the day when you're not expecting. Bottom line is, I know.
What exactly is it you know?
In short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Preposterous, against the law.
I meant to say, not true.
What are we going to do with you?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
We do this lawman style. First you tell me everything, then I pass judgment. You tell me what's really going on, and we'll work from there. I can be lenient. I don't really care. I just want to crack the case. Do what you want, I'll do what I want. Let's do lawman style.
Or else?
There's an audible clank as he lets a wrench drop into his toolbox. Or else I'll call back up and haul you all off to the pen for starters, or my cut will be 100%. We'll see. Now speak.
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal. Because we are! We totally are! We just got to turn it into a speed lab first. You know, to get our foot in the door.
And why did you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there. But the sign was way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all. Whatever you think is right, sir. But please, we were only trying to make a living.
Okay, so we can ask for a bribe, give your cash, we can arrest them, get lost, I don't want to see you again, evict them. Let's do this clean, no speed lab, just a club for music. It wouldn't work without the lab. Do what you have to do to keep the club alive. Proceed with both. Just get lost.
No, please!
Egghead presses stop on the tape player. In the silence, you can hear the wind howl outside.
There needs to be a club for Anodic music in there. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
Without a smile, Egghead looks heartbroken and older than you thought he was.
He looks almost as old as you.
We need a win. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
No debate. Get lost. I'm not letting some druggies take over a church.
Okay. Pack it up, Egg.
You should be glad I'm not even arresting you.
He doesn't even look at you.
Thank you, autosave. I guess there's nothing else to see in here. Alright. And the tent is gone. And the cell is gone. Yeah. Let's save here. We got this here. Done. Alright. Let's see. I want to test something now. Because I've been wondering this whole time if there's fast travel. And I read that there are 3 points of fast travel. There's the church, there's the shack, and the whirling in rags. And that supposedly you need to stand in front of one of those, and then do it. I'm not seeing. Oh, I see now. Travel here. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we're here at the church. We can travel to the shacks, and we can travel to the Martinaise waterfront. So, what do we want to do next? Where are the tasks? There. Okay, so we can call the station about the body, and call the library. I also want to talk to Rart, because we're not getting Isabel's signature. We can ask a historian about the tattoos. The only historian I can think of is Renee. Oh, we can also call Alice back and find a way into the secret passage. Alright, so let's try this fast travel. Oh, couldn't see myself for a second. Yeah. Okay. Travel. Ah, so much easier. Yay. Okay. So yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. We can take care of the other tasks at the start of next episode. So thank you so much for being here with me. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Remember to save your progress, and I will see you in the next video.